The biggest news is from New York, where a Saudi-led effort to advance a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine rallied nearly 100 countries at United Nations this week. Co-hosted by Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas and Norway Foreign Minister. The initiative comes as the Gaza war continues to devastate the region. Here is the latest from day 4 of UN General Assembly, where European nations took significant steps and the US and its allies stood firm in opposition. On Wednesday, the focus was on New York Declaration passed on Monday with a 142-10 UN vote. This plan outlines a Gaza ceasefire, Hamas disarmament, hostage release and a reform to prepare the Palestinian Authority to govern Gaza after conflict. Prince Faisal emphasized the need of action, stating the declaration must translate into real progress. He reaffirmed support for Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas and a return to 1967 borders, with Saudi Arabia committing to ongoing diplomatic and humanitarian efforts. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammad Mustafa, unable to attend due to US visa restriction, addressed the meeting via video. He expressed gratitude for Saudi Arabia's leadership and called for a swift step towards Palestinian statehood. Kallas highlighted the dire situation in Gaza and rising violence in West Bank, noting EU's pledge of $1.9 billion over 3 years to support Palestinian Authority alongside a new donor group to prevent its financial collapse. She stressed that a military solution for Gaza is not viable and pointed to encouraging signs from Tuesday's meeting between Arab leaders and President Donald Trump. That meeting included Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan and others discussing Trump's proposal for a ceasefire, hostage release and Israeli withdrawal and Gaza recognition without Hamas. However, Trump firmly opposed Palestinian statehood, arguing it could jeopardize peace and blame Hamas for stalled negotiation, a stance he has already said in his UN address. Over the 4 days of UN General Assembly, several European nations recognized Palestine. On Sunday, the UK, Canada, Australia and Portugal made the move, followed by France on Sunday and Belgium and Luxembourg, Malta and few others on Monday. Over 157 UN member states now recognize Palestine. Eddie, whose country, Norway, recognized Palestine in 2024, welcomed the shift, advocating for security guarantees and economic stability. While the US and Israel cautioned that recognition could complicate peace efforts, supporters seized growing momentum. Indonesia offered peacekeepers and the declaration envisions Arab-Israeli normalization after Palestinian statehood. With Gaza's crisis deepening, this Saudi-led initiative offers a glimmer of hope. Now, to talk more on this, we have Zakir Hussain, an international political economist, joining us today. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Get into the questions. Can you quickly tell us the significance of this week's UN General Assembly, how it is going to shape the next coming few months of Israel and Palestine conflict?
Thank you for having me here. This 80th UN General Assembly session is historical in many sense. For the first time, it has taken Palestine-Israel conflict at the top agenda of the meeting. And in this, we find that there is a global polarization on the issue. And we find that Arab countries, EU countries, BRICS countries, and global South are standing on the one side, and on the other, Israel and USA, which are feeling isolated, is standing on the other side of the issue, and they are vetoing and they are not ready to listen to the voice and mandate of the world. And what we find that during this session, a resolution was introduced in which 124 countries voted for Palestinian statehood, giving sovereignty, while 43 abstained and only 14 countries vetoed it. And that is a very surprising thing, and because many European countries, like which earlier for the last 70 years have not voted for Palestinian statehood and two-state solution, like UK, United Kingdom, France, Belgium, Australia, Canada, Luxembourg, they have voted for two-state solution and Palestinian statehood. This is a remarkable achievement, and in this, Arab countries also played a key role. While they also said that there should be unconditional immediate ceasefire, Israel should give up, leave the unlawful occupation of the Palestinian territory, and they also said that Hamas and other countries immediately release the hostages without any condition. So what we found that the world opinions has tilted in the favor of Palestinian issues. Side by side, they have taken the hostage and Israeli concern of security. But at global level, we find that the world diplomacy has polarized in favor of Palestine for the first time. Second, it has broken the Arab impasse and taken a global shape in which global South has taken active role, including EU. Third, we also find that within EU there is a division that major EU countries like UK, France, Canada, G7 countries also, they are siding for two-state solution and Palestine statehood, while Germany, Italy, they are not siding with this resolution, but within their countries, there are a high level of pressure from the governments. And I think that in the coming months, when election takes place in the country, the government has to succumb.
So now the question is, should Palestine be given a full statehood, and how is it going to help them in the current situation they are going through?
Listen, we have to trace a bit history. In 1948, Palestine was divided and Israel was given a state out of Palestinian territory. But what is that? Its boundaries are not defined, while there is no constitution. So if we are going to give Palestine a statehood, it means that we are going to in the direction of solving one of the most contentious issues of the world. But at the same time, we need to convince Israel and United States to solve this problem, because without this, it will not be having any meaning, because Palestine has already got observer status in United Nations. It is getting place in Olympic sports and various other places. But all the things are on the paper. But on ground, we are seeing one of the worst instability, worst crisis, worst malnutrition, worst humanitarian crisis. So I feel that a negotiated settlement is more important than declaring Palestine a statehood.
Can you quickly tell us, like, the security is the biggest concern right now. So what are the other alternatives Palestine has right now if we exclude the statehood from the list?
What do you mean? I think that excluding statehood means what? Already Palestine has occupied 75% territory. Palestinians have been huddled into two blocks, which are wherever Israel wants, it is treating them. It calls them a human animal, and the total supply of commodities, electricity, foreign relation, movement from outside the territory are controlled by Israel. So if we are taking away the statehood, or it does not matter until a negotiated settlement is done, because Palestinians does not have any right to say, even they don't follow the Oslo Accord, they don't follow Camp David Treaty also. So at this time that we need that this mandate, which has resolution, which is introduced in this UNGA, it should be proceed forward, and the New York Declaration, the Saudi and France-led conference on Palestine issue should also be accepted, because its communique has been widely circulated and accepted and endorsed by the member countries.
Now, EU, Arab countries and BRICS are also getting involved in resolving this issue. What do you think after them getting involved in this conflict what is going to be the outcome of it?
Of course, these three agencies are very powerful, and they represent more than 80% of the world population, economy, leverage, military, all these powers. And in this, regarding EU, for the first time, major countries of EU has recognized Palestinian statehood, and they supported the two-state theory. But at the same time, they themselves are facing division. Like Germany and Italy are not supporting, and some small states are not supporting. But their support to the resolution of the problem is very important. So far, coming to Arab state, we find a very remarkable change there in their stance. Earlier, they were behaving as a proxy of United States serving its interests. Now they are taking independent stand there. The conference organized by Saudi Arabia and France, which is declaration known as the New York Declaration, clearly states that resolution of this problem is urgent and immediate steps should be taken. Now coming to BRICS, BRICS has a huge leverage. Three major powers are the members: China, Russia, and India. They have diplomatic leverage, they have economic leverages, and they have global diplomacy influence in the world. If they are taking certain stands, certainly it will put a huge pressure on Israel and America to reconsider their stance on the issue, and particularly in the atmosphere when the world is surcharged by Trump tariff, which has already polarized the world. So I feel that if these three entities are involved, up to a great extent, Netanyahu and his government will feel pressure. America has to reconsider because its economic and military and superpower image is at stake. Because we find that in United Nations, most of the world, 124 countries are standing on one side, plus the abstain countries, 43 countries. Abstaining countries are also considered as siding with the proposal, as generally we understand it.
So you think, according to what you said right now, US, Russia and China can bridge the gap between what is going on right now and how far the peace is?
Look at P5 countries. In P5, 4 countries have already endorsed and recognized Palestinian statehood, and they base their solution on two-state solution. Only United States is standing against the P4 countries. This shows that the role of United States is very crucial, very important to solve the issue, because we find that since President Trump came, he is unflinchingly supporting Netanyahu, and he is going on berserk in the Gulf countries. It has attacked, Netanyahu has attacked 7 Gulf countries. This has annoyed the Gulf countries on the one hand, and after the attack of Qatar, they also feel that USA is not a reliable partner, not a trustworthy partner to him. They provided the military base in their countries, and now it is not protecting them. So they are looking other options, and this is not good for United States. The NATO type agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, that attack on one means attack on both, is really rankling Washington that they are slipping away Middle East from their hand, and they need to control Netanyahu and his policies. In several personal meetings, President Trump has expressed his anguish, but at the end, the influence of AIPC, American Jews lobby, is very much, so he is not able to express openly. What we feel that America is also saturated with the policies of Netanyahu. But again, America is the only country which can solve the problem so far, because these 3 countries are not able to mobilize military force against Netanyahu. So military force is very important to implement the mandate of United Nations, which right now is missing. And I feel that emerging economies and these economies are a bit shy of discharging their responsibilities of taking share in the United Nations and other international bodies. The moment they take this responsibility, I think that these global institutions are going to play a crucial role in solving the global problems, including Israel and Palestine.
So what do you think is going to happen in next couple of days? Is there going to be any solution to it? We are going to drag this conversation more, or you think we are going to come to a conclusion on ceasefire deal between Israel and Palestine?
Look, I don't think that in the next couple of days it is going to be solved, but a massive pressure will be there. And Netanyahu government is arguing that if there is a ceasefire, it means they are giving preference to Hamas over peace solutions. On the one hand, on the other hand, if he accepts ceasefire, then it means that he is going to lose his the faith of his government, and on him a number of cases, corruption cases are going on. He may suffer. He may face judicial trial, a trial which is in the court. So I don't feel that unconditional ceasefire and humanitarian assistance, which has been demanded by the United Nations General Assembly resolution, are going to be implemented very soon. But to some extent, it is going to put pressure. Right now, what I feel that the region is passing through a serious humanitarian crisis. 70% buildings have been destroyed. 60% of the population, especially children, are under malnourishment. And daily they need 550 trucks to meet the supplies, to meet the demand of the 2 million people living in Gaza. And more than that, this including if he includes West Bank, the number goes to 3.3 million. So right now the condition is very serious. Both sides are in a tough condition, although they have proposed a new formula, new peace initiative, which depends mostly on Netanyahu to accept.
With this, we'll end this interview. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I'll see you in the next one. At the end of the day, the world is waiting for peace in Middle East. After this 1 week of UN General Meeting, now the world awaits for a result which might change the history of Palestine. Thank you so much for watching us. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep watching Money Control.